Hi, and welcome to episode 13 of the Yarn Geek podcast. My name is Denise, and you can find me on Ravelry as Canary Song, and on Instagram, I am Kitty231. It's been about 2 weeks since I last recorded. For various reasons, I had like some scheduling changes, and then I had like a cat emergency, so I had to, deal with that. So I'm recording in a new location if you haven't realized that. And I'll explain that at the end of the episode, like what's been going on with that. But my co-host today is Tonka, so say hi, Tonka, or not. So I didn't realize that in my last episode was gonna be the last recording for May, and that was the end of the Lucas Shawl cow that I co-hosted with May with Carlinergy, Carly, and Once Upon a Corgi, Gabby. So that cow is over, and looks like Carly finished her Lucas Shawl, and Gabby's almost done. I think she's at the border now. I have not worked on it since the last time I showed you guys, which was, I don't know how many episodes ago. So here is how it looks, and it hasn't changed at all. I did the first chart, and then I was working on doing increases to then start chart B, and I haven't picked it up since. So it just might be going into hibernation. I'm just not feeling it right now. And I would rather be working on some other things, but if I do work on it, I'll let you guys know. My original goal was to have this finished and then have it finished by August, because I wanted to enter it into the county fair. I don't think I'm gonna meet that deadline. If I at the rate I'm going, I would have to like dedicate some serious time to that, and there's like other projects that have caught my attention lately, so I don't think I'm gonna meet that goal. So since that Cal is not over, I was thinking about starting a new one. So let me know if you guys are interested in doing like an indie dyer knit along. So it's just pretty much knit any like socks, adult socks, using yarn from Indie Dyer. So if you guys are interested in that, just leave a comment below. Since I don't really get as many comments for my podcast, I don't really know if you guys are interested in doing that. But if you guys are, I'm more than happy to host it. Just let me know. I'm not gonna do a knit along and then have nobody join in except myself, So let me know. There's a lot of indie dyers out there, and I think, doing a knit along, just focusing on that, it would bring more attention to them, and I would be interested to, to find out some more dyers. So since I haven't recorded in 2 weeks, I do have 2 finished objects to show you guys. And my first one is my Pure Joy Shawl by Joy Locatelli. This shawl is like super big. It's like the length of my wingspan. So I knit this in this yarn from Argentina, which was made specifically for this pattern. She sold kits on it on Etsy, so it's called Pura Alajos, and here's the tag. It's a Pura sock, 100% merino, and the colorways were Candy and Rainy. So I really like how it came out, and I like the lighter color is called Candy. I like the subtle, soft colors in it. And like I said, my dad's from Argentina, so I was really excited to knit a shawl, or a project that was like 100% from Argentina. Like the yarn's from there, it's dyed there, and the pattern designer's from Argentina. And then I showed my dad like my finished object, and I was explaining it to him, and he didn't really care. You know, like I said, oh, you know, next time you go to Argentina, I'm gonna wear this, and he said, nobody's gonna know that it's from Argentina. I was like, well, I'll let them know. So, you know, I really like it. It's really soft. So yeah, it's hard to show on this camera because it's really big shawl. But I enjoyed it. This is a really good beginner shawl pattern. It goes really quickly. What part did I even start at? So I start here, and then like there's like 6 wedges, and you just like, you know, it's using short rows, so it goes by really quickly, like how the length. It did feel like it took forever when I got to the bottom, the last section, you know, the black section. But before that, it just flew by. So if you like don't want a shawl that you feel like then we're gonna end, um, I think this is a good shawl to pick for that. And it was pretty quick. I knit this in maybe 2 weeks. So yeah, I really liked it. And it was my first pattern by Hohi Locatelli, and I'm looking forward to trying out some other her patterns. And she's always, you know, releasing new ones. And I think I might knit one of her sweaters for my Rhinebeck sweater, because I am planning on going to Rhinebeck this year. So I'm gonna have to decide soon what I'm gonna knit with for that, because it's probably gonna take me a while considering how I keep jumping into different projects. So yeah, that's for the future. And my second FO is my monkey socks. So this is using yarn that I dyed, and these took me like a month to do. I really lost like my sock knitting mojo by the end of it. I was just like tired of the pattern. It's not a difficult pattern, but it is a 11 row repeat, so it just felt like it took forever. So the heel is a stockinette heel, which I don't know how that was what was in the pattern. I don't know how long wearing that heel is, because you know how some heels are like reinforced heels, or like Aya Partridge's heel, which seems like it would last longer. So I don't know. And this yarn is pretty soft, so I'm afraid that you know, the heel might bust through, but we'll see. I don't really like wear my hand knit socks like hard wearing them, you know. I tend to wear them in the house, or if I just wear them out for like a few hours. So I don't think they're gonna like wear out, but we'll see. And I haven't used any of the socks that I've knit this year, because since I started getting into sock knitting last year, I've been using those socks, and now that it's, you know, summer, I'm not going to be wearing long socks anyway. So this is my 7th sock of this year. So I entered this in like a ton of cows. So this is my box of socks cal. This was originally was for the cookie jar cal, which is hosted by Candace and Laura, from the Fall Knits and Pin Feathers and Pearls, which was like a 2-month knit along. And I was originally thinking about, you know, maybe I can knit a second pair of cookie socks, but I don't think that's gonna happen now. So yeah, I really like how my yarn came out. There's like speckling in it that started like really popped out once I blocked the sock. And the toe, I think I used a wedge toe. I haven't done any of those other toes. I think my next sock is gonna have a star toe, because I really want to see how that looks, how that comes out. So yeah, this really grew after I blocked it. I think it was up to here when I put on a sock blocker, and then it grew that much after, I washed them. So let me see if I can get the true color. Yeah, that's that's about how it looks like in person. So yeah, I'm really happy with these socks. My next pair of socks are definitely gonna be probably vanilla socks because I feel like I lost my sock knitting mojo, but I don't want to fall behind for my box of socks. For the box of socks cow, so it took me a month to knit these socks, and it really shouldn't take a month to knit socks. So I cast those two off, and I haven't really cast on any major projects since then. I have some up and coming ones that I'll share with you. I have been knitting on my scrap blanket, I guess. So now I'm in the middle of knitting a square, so it's awkward. So this is my monkey socks, and the rest of this row is all yarn that I dyed myself. So I just like balled up some like 10-gram skeins, and then I was just playing around with colors. So yeah, and then I started another row, and so these two squares look identical, but they're from different skeins, so I don't know what happened, what I was doing. And then so now I'm knitting a yellow square. So I have like 41 squares on this now. So it's getting big. Here you go. So yeah, I asked Ryan, hey, do you think I should make this king size? And he's like, at the rate you're going, it would never be king size. Which is true, because I've been knitting on this since January. I only have like 41 squares, so yeah, he's right. It's probably gonna be like a throw blanket at this point. So I have another work in progress that I haven't really shared, and that I started last year, and the reason why is because this is kind of like a secret project. When I started my podcast, I didn't really know anything about like editing or uploading, so Ryan helped me a lot. So he was watching my episodes, but now I figure out how to do it myself, and I don't really think he watches every episode I post. So this is a project I haven't really shared anywhere except for Ravelry, because I know he won't go on there. But I pulled it out, so I might as well show it to you guys. So I've been working on this, what is this called? On Ravelry, it's called a Granny Square Mario bedspread, it's a crochet pattern to do like a blanket with a Mario design from Super Mario. So here's the pattern. It's a free pattern. So each square is a granny square, and then you just you crochet each color. But I don't know how to crochet, so I decided to do these as miter squares. And I actually started this before I started my Cozy Memories blanket. So yeah, this is like the length of it. Yeah, it's too big to show, but it's like the size of probably like a twin size bed. So I started at the bottom because I started working on it in front of Ryan, and I felt like if I started from the bottom, he wouldn't be able to figure out what it is. But now that you actually see both of his feet, I have this fear that he's gonna figure out that it's Mario. And the reason I'm knitting this is because we dressed up as Mario and Princess Peach for Halloween one year. So yeah, I think this would be a nice gift for him. I don't have a deadline for this. So the total squares is 252 squares, and right now I did like 57 at this point. And I'm using Red Heart because I planned on making this like years ago, and I found the box of yarn in the closet, and I said, well, I already bought this yarn. I should just make it as in Red Heart, an acrylic yarn. Because I was like, oh no, I shouldn't use acrylic. But then I was looking online for other yarn, and it's just like really expensive. And even like some of the other yarns that maybe I was deciding maybe do knit picks. But then I was reading online and people were saying that some of the yarn, it pills a lot, that I was thinking about using. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to use this yarn because I already bought it. Not all the skeins I'm going to need, but I already bought a starter kit for it. And I can just throw this in the wash and then it's going to last forever, so it's not a big deal. And how many squares did I use? Like 36 stitches, which are less stitches than my Cozy Memories blanket, but since this is worsted, it's like a really big square. And I don't remember what size needle I used, because I have it in the project bag, but it doesn't say on it like what it is. So I have it in this is a tote bag I got from Ravelry a few years ago, and it's like it's gonna explode from this tote bag in a little bit, or this drawstring bag. So yeah, Red Heart. Yeah, I don't plan on showing this every time I work on it. I think maybe once I do a section, I'll show you guys again. But for right now, it's living in that bag. I'm really gonna be excited when I'm done with this, and then give it to him, because I think he'd really enjoy it. So yeah, that's it for my works in progress. I have been doing some dyeing. So from the podcast, the Dyer's Notebook, she's doing a dye along / knit along. It's a 2-month knit along, where you dye a skein of yarn inspired by some fantasy or fairy tale. So when I heard of the challenge, I immediately thought about Game of Thrones, because that's what, the new season's out, and I've been watching that every week, so I've just been thinking about that. So that's what came to mind first. So here's the red. Nice, I like it. So I'm calling this the Red Woman, and it's based on Melisandre from Game of Thrones. If you know who she is, she's like the sorceress, and she has red hair and is always wearing a red outfit, and like her nickname's the Red Woman. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna be knitting a shawl out of this. I was looking on Ravelry for like a 1 skein shawl that was free, and I found what is it called? Reina, which I've had in my queue forever. So I'm gonna cast this on like very shortly after this episode airs. And the knit along ends, I think, at the end of next month, so I should be able to finish it by then. So yeah, I really like this red. Yeah, that's true to color. And then like up and coming, I think I'm gonna, well, if we end up doing the indie dyer knit along, I'm gonna skein up this yarn that I got from Destination Yarn, which is International Space Station. I got this like a few months ago when I was in Ohio, so I showed you guys before. So I think I'm gonna do some plain socks so I can get my sock knitting mojo back. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys. So these are all the minis that I've dyed up like the last 2 months that are gonna go in my blanket. I didn't realize how many I had until I put them all together in a Ziploc bag. And for my acquisitions, when I saw this on Instagram, I like rushed to get it. So I finally got some Junk Yarn. And this is her smooth sock base. And this is AJ Carter. So, you know, you guys, I love AJ Carter. Sadly, the show was canceled. But hopefully the character will appear again at some point. Or maybe, you know, her show will come back on Netflix. Hoping. I don't know. See, I really like this yarn. And then I received a package from Super Crafty Girl. I showed you guys her yarn before because I did a swap with Andrea a few months ago for, you know, mini skein. So she sent me a lot of her hand dyed yarn, and so she kindly sent me this yarn. Here's the tag. So her shop is open on Etsy. And this is her Oasis base. 75% superwash merino, 24% nylon, 4-ply. And this is a colorway Vicious. There you go. And then here's like some minis that I'm gonna love to put in my blanket. So yeah, you know, you guys should check out her shop. So yeah, I ran through everything, the knitting wise. So here's Tonka. So I'm at my parents' house now. This is Tonka. I rescued him about a year ago. He was in the backyard crying. I tried to find, you know, I caught him. Like I used to, I don't know if you ever seen like those cages. They're like, it's like a humane cat trap. And so I lured him in there with food and I caught him. And I tried to find his owners, but nobody claimed him. We asked in the neighborhood. We put up signs. Nobody claimed him. You know, I think he got dumped. You know, it happens sometimes. People like move away and they decide they don't want the animal anymore. So they just threw him away. I mean, he was outside crying for maybe like 3 days before I caught him. So it's, you know, we all felt pretty bad for him. And then, you know, a few days ago, my mom was just calling me saying that she didn't think that he was doing well. Like something was wrong. She said he looked sad. And then she found that he was like urinating everywhere. And that's definitely a bad sign. And I already knew that it might be a urinary infection. And I knew that because I had a cat previously who had that. And what happens is that they have trouble urinating, and so they associate their litter box with that. So they try to urinate in different places, and that's, you know, really dangerous because they can get a blockage, and if that happens, you know, they have like 48 hours and they could die. So we rushed him to the animal hospital, and they did some X-rays, and he had stones, so he had to have like major surgery. And this all happened in the span of like a few hours. So, you know, he stayed at the clinic for like 3 days. So he finally came home last night. So I'm here just like taking care of him because they give him medication, and nobody else in the house feels comfortable giving him medicine, and I have like, you know, some experience doing that. So, you know, I'm just watching over him. And hi, you woke up? Sleepyhead. So just watching over him, making sure he's okay. This is like his first full day back. He was like really happy to be home. And he has like huge stitches on his belly. And then in like 2 weeks we're gonna have to bring him back and get the stitches removed. So we're just really lucky with him, you know, and nothing bad happened to him during his surgery or anything like that. You know, he's only like 7 years old according to the vet, so we're like really shocked that He had those health problems, and we are gonna have to change his diet. We're just waiting to get back the results of like what kind of food he should be eating from now on. So yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, if you got this far in the episode, thank you for that. And let me know if you're interested in the indie dyer knit along, and if we are probably gonna start it the next week or so. I'm not sure how long it's gonna last. So yeah. And Lucy's doing fine. She's back in her house in Brooklyn. So yeah. Okay. So I guess I'll catch you guys next time.